Hey everyone, this is Shane. We're going to go over in this video how to install WordPress properly on your domain. It seems that one of the common issues from people is they're not installing WordPress properly from the very beginning. So they're getting their URLs all messed up, and so I want to do a training on how to install WordPress. Okay, now for every issue that I've gotten or every claim that the software doesn't work, I went through every one of them and I was able to see that the software works just fine. It's just that the user not doing, either not watching the videos, not watching the training, not doing the training, or just really just not paying attention. But so again, the software works. I use it every day. As long as you guys use it the right way, it works just fine. Okay. So let's go over installing WordPress. What I see a lot is people wanting to install WordPress on a subdomain, which is fine, okay? But when you do that, you have to pay attention to your URL structure, okay? This is important for many reasons, not just for the function of ANM, but for the functioning of your site, SEO reasons, things like that. And you guys are not really well, some of you, most of you are doing just fine, but some of you are not understanding the way that works. If you want to put it on a subdomain, that's great. Go ahead and create a subdomain. But you have to be careful, okay, when you create a subdomain. Let me just show you real quick. Okay, when you create a subdomain, you will name your subdomain. So your subdomain would be whatever your name is, and your URL would be that dot whatever your main domain is .com, right? Well, a lot of people are confused about this, and then they're going ahead and putting it into an additional subfolder after that. Okay, so what happens is your URL gets messed up and everything doesn't redirect correctly. Okay, so let's say you create this subdomain. Now let's go back and install WordPress. So whatever software you're using to install WordPress, and install don't use a multi-site to install WordPress that you're going to be using ANM on. Just install WordPress from the right way from your cPanel. Okay. Mine, I got Sofculous, so I'm going to show you real quick. Everything is the same, whether you got Quick Install, Fantastico. I don't even know if we're using Fantastico anymore. Most of the people, HostGator, use Quick Install, but the good SEO or the good hosting providers use Sofculous. Okay, so if you go to install WordPress, okay, here is the install. Now, you have to be careful and pay attention to where this says in directory. What a lot of people are doing is, let's say they made that subdomain, okay, they're picking their subdomain, and then they're installing it into a subdirectory called blog or whatever. Okay, so when that is done, everything just gets really messed up. So do not, if you're making a subdomain, don't put anything here in the subdirectory. Okay, if you want to put a blog, just name your blog in a subdirectory, but don't create the subdomain. It's either or. You don't want to do both, okay, because nothing will redirect right or anything like that. Okay, so if you want to have a store, say, on your main site, if you want to have a blog that you're using ANM for, okay, so just do your main site in a subdirectory called blog. Don't do a subdomain. If you're going to do one or the other, not both, okay? So let's say you created a subdomain. You would select the subdomain that you created. So I'll have some here just to show you. So here's one, http://store.mainreviews.com. This is a subdomain I set up. I would not then go and put blog, okay, because that messes up everything. So install WordPress correctly, and you won't have any problems. And another point here is install WordPress in English, okay? We built the software in English. It works in English. We have some people say, well, we need it in my language. We cannot customize the software to each person's native language, okay? I mean, if somebody wants to pay us a bunch of money, then we'll make a custom software for you. But just install it in English. If you need to translate your content, you can use a free content translator plugin to translate it all. But just install it in English so everything works properly and we don't have any problems. Okay, so let's install WordPress. Now the main domain for me is mainreviews.net, and let's say I want to just create a blog. This is a brand new installation of WordPress that's independent of the installation that's on mainreviews.net. Okay, now if you want to do this and put a brand new installation of WordPress on in a subdirectory called blog or whatever, you can do that. Okay, so let's just say that we're doing that with this. Let's go down and don't install limit login attempts just yet. Okay, you can see my videos on YouTube about how to secure your site. So let's go ahead and click install. You can install that, but you just have to be careful about how many times you want to make sure and put in your right login details. You're going to lock yourself out. Okay, so here is our new URL. Okay, it's in a subdirectory called blog. This is what we're going to be posting into. Remember, it's completely independent of the WordPress installation that's on mainreviews.net. Okay, so we're going to put this into our ANM software. I'm going to copy the link and go to the software, and I'm going to add a new website. Okay, I'm going to paste in. Notice, guys, notice right here, it says WordPress login URL. This means whatever URL you put here, okay, must direct to the WordPress login page. Okay, if you just put in mainreviews.net, that ain't gonna work. Okay, it needs to go to the login URL, the login page. This is your WordPress admin login URL. Okay, most time it's just WP admin. You can just put WP admin. If you do a redirect or a rename your login, do it later. Okay, or put in the correct URL that goes to your login page. Okay. Okay, once you have that in, just click add new site and you won't have any problems. It will add the site for you. You will be able to go on about your business, and the software works perfectly, just like we say it does. Okay. Okay, so it'll add the site just fine. Click OK and you can close that. Now you can go to your ANM setup. Again, select your site that you just added. Okay, and choose the options that you're going to be using. Now, this is a brand new site, so I'm going to go through everything here and select everything just like we do in the training. If you have an established site that you've had for a long time, you need to log into that site and make sure that there's not going to be anything there that's going to keep you from connecting the ANM software to your site. If you see anything that you think may cause a problem, then you need to check those things. Okay, if you have a problem connecting your site to established site to the software, log into that site, check and make sure that you don't have anything that looks like it may be interfering. Okay, we have no way of telling what you have on your sites if you're adding a site. Okay, you know, if you have something there that's out of the norm, and you know, you just need to check it. Okay, so just do the options that you're going to do and click Start Setup. Okay, I'll come back and do it later. After you do that, go into your settings. Your site will show up in this area. Okay, it's not here now because you haven't done the ANM setup, but it will show up here. When you select your site, make sure you click the check mark to load these settings for this site. Put in your information. Okay, whether you want to put in your Amazon information, ClickBank, all of it. Put in your ads. Okay, you can enable the commenter, which is the automatic commenter, which I highly recommend using. You can enable the content spinning if you like, and just click Apply Settings, and then you can go on and do your campaigns. Okay, if we look in some of the campaigns, I mean, I've been using this for a long time. I have some testing sites in here, and then our training sites, and you'll see that I set up so many. The software works. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this software. Just make sure you're doing the things that you're putting stuff in correctly, doing all those things correctly. If you find out you're having an issue with something, whatever, just close the software, reopen, okay, and then just make sure you're putting the stuff in I mean, you can see all of the campaigns that I have running for our cleaning project site. And then what you're not seeing is my sites that I put in. Okay, I have the same software. I have a different software that's the same software but has all of my main sites in, because I'm not giving away my sites. But you can see that the software works just fine. So guys, just really pay attention to what you're doing. Do it right. You won't have any problems.